So one of the brand new features in NBA 2K26 is the brand new build specialization quests. Now if you don't know what this is, basically you can choose between finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense and rebounding. Basically depending on which one you end up going with, you're going to get a max +1 and a max +2 for that category. And that is on top of all the other max +1s and max +2s. You're going to get this category down here where you can get a max +1 and a max +2. So you basically get to upgrade your build even further just by doing these quests. Now of course there are 5 different categories and each one has their own challenges that are slightly different from the other one. So for example, if we have a look at the finishing one, it will be things to start off. It'll be like win 20 games, then it's 200 close range shots, then it's win 50 games with a teammate grade A- or higher, then it goes to 400 close range shots, then 50 games with 6 or more shots made in the paint in each win, and then 600 close range shots, and so on and so forth. As you go through towards the back end, it gets more and more and a little bit more difficult. Once you finish it, you get a max +2. You get some cap breakers as well for finishing or whatever category you end up choosing. And it's the same for every other category. You get a bunch of rewards for that category as well. And in this video, I'm going to show you the method to complete absolutely every single one of these challenges. Now, don't worry, you don't actually have to do these online. You can do them against the AI, and I'm going to show you how in just a moment. But before we do jump into it, I do want to say thank you so much for all the nice comments and all the brand new viewers coming through. Appreciate you guys. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I appreciate the love and support you guys have shown recently. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the method. Okay, so to jump into the method, basically the first thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to head to the Street Kings. If you don't know where it is, it's right here in the middle of the city. It's very easy to find, and once you find it, you'll probably have to come in here and speak to a guy here if you haven't come here before. But then we want to go ahead and really you can choose whichever one you want, but I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and go to the Jordan Jams. The reason we're going to do this is we're going to basically play a team where there's a center that can't shoot but loves to shoot, and it's going to allow us to cheese a bunch of stuff when we're doing this method. So you want to head up to this board here, you want to click X, and you want to go over to poster child. Now the reason we're doing this, like I just said, this Grady guy on his team, we want to match ourselves up against him because he basically can't shoot but he loves to shoot, which is great, and that will basically mean that we're going to be able to cheese the blocks, the shots defended well, and also we're going to be able to get a bunch of easy rebounds. That is 3 different categories that we're basically going to be able to work towards depending on which one you do. But don't worry, you're going to be able to do absolutely every single category against these guys. So I would recommend just playing this team. So go ahead and put your team in, and then we're going to start up the game. Now I am actually on my center right now. The reason I'm on my center is because it allows me to show you how to do the finishing, the shooting, the defense and the rebounding all in one game. Now of course, depending on which build you're doing and which archetype you're going for, or specialization, sorry, that you're going for, it will change game to game. So to start things off, I'm going to talk about the defense specialization. So the first thing you need to do is defend shots well. Now I think it's like 100 or something like that for the first category, and then obviously as you go through it, it's going to get higher and higher and you have to do more and more. But for the first bit, you just have to defend shots well, and then the second bit is steals or blocks. And of course I will recommend you do blocks over steals because steals are like non-existent this year and you can't really cheese them. You can however cheese some blocks. Now let me show you exactly how you're basically going to bait the center into shooting so that you can get an easy contest or an easy block. So the game started, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to use this little flower here to basically be in the perfect position to essentially let him shoot in the corner but still be close enough to try and get a contest or a block. And as you can see, I kind of failed it that time, but that's completely fine. You can just score a bucket and then it will reset. Basically he's going to keep running to the hash or to the corner, and whenever they make the pass, you essentially want to try and run as quickly as possible to him and get a contest. That is exactly how you're going to get the first bit and the second bit done. Now I'm going to see if I can actually try and get a good example of me actually getting a contest, because right now I'm completely failing miserably. But trust me, once you're like locked in and you're super focused, you'll be able to know the timings of when to run and stuff. And if you're not on a 7'4" and you actually have a bit more speed, then you're gonna have an easier time actually getting these blocks. But I'm so slow on this build that I have to be like perfect to be able to get the contest. And if he runs out a little bit more like that, then I'm gonna struggle to get the contest. There we go. There is a perfect example. Poster child ran in, passed it out. If you're sort of near the paint, then he will 9 times out of 10 pass it out anyway, so don't fall for the bait. But yeah, you can just sit on this sort of flower area on the edge of the paint, and of course you can do it on the other side as well, and you can keep running and you can keep doing exactly what I've just done right there. You could either get the blocks or you could get the shots well defended. Both are really easy to do, and honestly this took me like 2 minutes to finish this game. I only got a couple blocks in this game, but I've had games where I've had like 15 and 16 blocks just by doing this, because you can just essentially throw the ball down the court to go for like a full court shot, and then you can just keep farming blocks this way. Now that is exactly how you go ahead and you get the blocks and the shots well defended. Super easy. And also a plus side to this is you are getting VC every time you play this as well, so keep that in mind. You can grind out your VC and your specialization. Okay, so I am back in another game now, and this time I want to talk about the rebounding. Now, we kind of already have been getting it, but essentially, if you're going for rebounding, just let him shoot and you can just keep getting boards. And if you want to farm this unlimited times, just chuck up a full court shot, give them the ball back, and let him shoot again and again and again and again. And you're just going to get a bunch of easy rebounds. This is like the quickest way to do it. And honestly, if you're okay, I just scored I just scored a half-court shot. Didn't mean to do that. But what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by that is, if you're playing games on a center especially, and you're getting rebounds anyway, you're going to be farming them. Especially if you do this like for an hour maybe, you'll probably get through most of the rebound quests, I reckon. But yeah, you could just sit here, you keep chucking up shots, getting a bunch of easy rebounds. And this is probably the easiest specialization, but also probably like one of the least picked. I just don't think it's that important compared to other stats. So if you do end up picking rebounding, this is a very quick and easy way to get through the quest. Now, this is going to be very self-explanatory for both the finishing and the shooting, but very simply, if it doesn't matter what build you're on, just shoot the ball. Just come in this court and shoot the ball. Now, we're playing against poster child, so if you are going to do the finishing or the shooting, then I would recommend, instead of putting yourself up against the center, make sure you're matched up against poster child, because obviously he's not really going to get a contest because he's like 1'2". But yeah, just simply go wherever you feel comfortable shooting. You don't need shooting boost for this because the court's on rookie, so you don't have to waste VC on that. Just come here, shoot the ball, and you will end the game a lot very quickly, but you're going to get a bunch of 3-pointers and mid-ranges very easily this way. And then we have our finishing. Now, the great thing about the finishing on this game is it's extremely easy to do, especially if you have a center. Now, for the finishing, instead of getting like dunks or layups or stuff like that, it is just close shots. So if you're doing it on a build that is a center, this is going to be super easy for you. If you're on like more of a guard, it might be a little bit more difficult. But all you want to do is you want to sort of get yourself into the paint and then just go up with the ball, basically. Now, I just missed that because I mistimed it completely, but you shouldn't really miss too many open shots. It should be pretty easy to get. And here is a very easy way. You just back down your opponent, do a drop step. Now you're in the paint and you have a quick, easy layup. And with that, you should get it done pretty quickly. I mean, you can get a bunch of close shots every single game. You just run into the paint, ask for the ball, and just go up with it. Unless you go with a jump shot like that somehow. I don't know how it's not laid the ball up, but basically just brute force your way into the paint, and no matter who's there, you should have an open shot. Because this court's on rookie difficulty, it's very easy to actually go ahead and get these close shots done. Okay, so now I'm on my 6'8" build instead of my center, because I want to show you how to get the playmaking stuff done. Now, it's very simple. You can still do it on whatever build you want. Essentially, we're just going to let the center shoot so that we can get their possession over as quickly as possible. And then simply, if you want a really easy assist, just call yourself a screen, run through the screen, and then wait for him to cut. And then basically, you should get an easy open assist every single time. The AIs will green 99% of the shots in the paint, especially if you're using someone that's taller than poster child. You should have a pretty easy time at getting that done. And as you can see, you just get the ball back extremely quickly. Go ahead, call the screen again, wait for him to cut, easy bucket. And you basically just want to do that as many times as possible each game. I think you can get maybe 6 or 7 assists per game maximum. I mean, it depends if you let them score or not. I guess if you let them score, say you pick a team where they actually have someone that can shoot, then you might be able to get 1 or 2 more assists. But honestly, for the sake of getting VC at the same time as doing this, I would honestly just recommend just playing poster child still, shutting down the court and getting the VC while also getting 6 or 7 assists per game. It's going to add up very quickly. And honestly, these games can get done in maybe like 2-3 minutes. So you're going to be getting a bunch of progress extremely quick for playmaking. So hopefully you boys did enjoy the video. If you did, or you learned anything new, then please consider dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, channel and turning them notifications on so you never miss another upload from your boy. Good luck grinding out your specializations. Hopefully this is going to help you speed up that process. Honestly, they've cooked extremely hard with this, letting us do it offline as well as online, because if you could only do it online, no one's going to have the specialization for ages. But that is it for today's video, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.